Hello and welcome to this Vinyasa flow practice. Just to let you know that it is a practice that really celebrates all the elements we have within us and connects us to our outer world. So it's a practice of Surya Namaskar with various explorations where we feel grounded through the earthiness of our body. We will discover the fluidity in our body through the movements that we make, the fire in our belly, the air in our lungs and our heart, and then lovely Shavasana at the end where we get to connect with the space element when we sit in Sukhasana at the end. I hope you enjoy it. Be safe, practice well, take child's pose whenever you need to. Namaste. Just a little intro to what the class is going to be this morning. So we're going to do some flowing practice, Surya Namaskar, really in the form of Surya Namaskar, and then those explorations within that practice. So in a way, our practice is an opportunity to really honor and even dedicate our practice to reminding ourselves of the wonders of Mother Earth. So we're going to kind of explore the connection we have with the earth. So our body really is a mirror image of the earth that we live on. And we have this body which is considered the earthiness part of us, and what we can see and feel, our bones, our muscles, our skin, everything that makes up this physical body is the earth. And then we also have our fluid body, all the water that we have, all the fluids that we have moving through our body, kind of as a mirror image to the oceans and the seas and the rivers and the streams. So the next level that we have is our fire in our belly comes from the earth, and it really taps into our willpower. So we'll be creating a little bit of fire in the belly. So if you think about the center of the earth is this fire, and we have volcanoes, and there's definitely fire in the planet. And then our air that we breathe into our lungs, that exchange, and just how clean the air is becoming with everybody being grounded and at home. The earth is responding already to that sort of positive element of what's happening. The earth is really flourishing and healing so quickly. It's quite incredible. So that the air that we have coming in to our bodies, we share with the planet, and then that sense of space. So dedicating our practice to what part we can play in the healthiness of our own existence, with our relationship to the earth, is what today's practice is going to be. Just a time to be patient, to offer yourself kindness, and enjoy being present, being aware of how you feel today. So we'll just take a few more moments. We're going to start actually in a seated, hopefully if you're seated, stay seated. If you've been lying on your back, you can come up to being in a seat. Just checking in with your body, checking in with your breath. Taking a nice smooth breath in through your nose Nice long smooth breath out. Lovely. Taking a nice deep breath in. A nice long smooth steady breath out. One more like that. Inhaling. Noticing the quality of your breath, the length of your breath, and then not being in such a rush. Exhaling. Slowing the breath down, noticing how gradual we can really encourage that breath to be. Lovely. And then allow the breath to come back in, its own natural rhythm now. And we'll start a little movement of our shoulders up, back, and down. Might hear a few crunches. Nice, just making that movement right, and then a little movement for your shoulders forward if you can, so that they come back, up, and then around the front, down and around. So just getting a nice bit of movement around into your shoulders. And then coming back to the center, and we'll take our right ear towards the right shoulder. And then come back up and left ear to the left shoulder. Again, not too much, just a nice amount. And then coming back to the center, and we'll drop the chin forward and then make a circle around to the right 3 times. Doesn't need to be too big of a movement. We have to be nice and careful with our necks. And then come back to the center, and we'll come around the other way. So coming round to the left, it's like you're making a nice big circle with your nose. And nice. And then coming back to the center, and we're going to take our arms up over our heads, interlinking our fingers, pressing out through the palms, out through, that's it, through the shoulders. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears, lengthening, lengthening. We're sitting down through the sit bones down into the earth, and then a little lean up and over to your right. And then inhaling, coming back up to the center, leaning up and over to the left. Just getting into that movement through the spine. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Let's take our arms behind us, interlinking our fingers, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening through the front of the collarbones, maybe looking up towards the sky. And then release, taking your arms in front, rounding your back, like somebody's drawing your arms away from you. Your arms are at shoulder height, and you're tucking your chin in, breathing into the back of the body. And release. Coming up, let's come up onto all fours. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, a little cat-cow. So as we inhale, we let the belly come down, lifting the chest, lifting the chin. Exhaling, rounding your back, chin in towards the chest. Inhaling, coming forward, nice movement through the spine. Exhaling, rounding your back, chin in towards the chest. Inhaling, coming forward, just noticing the sweet movement. Exhaling, rounding your back, chin in towards the chest. Nice. And then coming to a nice flat back, a little movement side to side into our Sahaja cat-cow, moving our head, shoulders, spine and hips as circular as you can be. Moving with your breath. It's always nice to close your eyes, that way we drop a little bit more into how this feels. Where do we feel it? Nice, undoing any tension, any tightness. And then perhaps coming into downward facing dog from here. You don't have to, you can stay right where you are on all fours. There's plenty to discover, but if you're ready, maybe just make sure your fingers are nice and wide if you're coming into downward dog, tucking your toes. But again, a little movement, so bending one knee, straightening the other leg, really going on that voyage of discovering how this feels for you. That's the most important. Pressing the body through the arms. Nice, let your head be nice and heavy, moving your chin from side to side. Lovely. And then wherever you are, whether you're on all fours or in downward facing dog, we come back to the center and we're going to step the right foot forward between the hands. Or maybe a little further forward. Left knee is on the floor. And we're going to come up, so hands come to our right knee. So as we inhale, we're going to come a little up away from that edge. Exhale, sit nice and deep. So we want to get those shoulders back, open through the chest. Try not to lean forward. We want to be kind of on top of the hips here. We want to lift as much as we can, even though there's a sinking down through that front of the left hip flexor. Inhaling, we come up. Exhaling, we sit nice and deep. Inhaling, we come up. Exhaling, sitting nice and deep. One more time, we come up. Exhaling, sitting nice and deep. Taking your hands to the earth, tucking your toes. We're going to come round to the left, turning our feet in, bending the left knee, straightening the right leg. Again, a little bounce here, a little buoyancy. Hands underneath the shoulders for support. And then bending your right knee, straightening your left leg. So try not to feel like you have to get stuck in a pose that looks like anything on the outside. Everything is about making this practice right for you. Coming round over your right foot. Stepping the right foot back. Plank pose. Nice and strong in plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. And we keep our toes tucked. That's it. Tidal pull. The hands stay where they are. And the forehead lands a little movement of your chin from side to side. So tidal pull is always here whenever you need it. Of course, it's like 1 second away from being in child's pose, where you have your feet flat and take your arms beside you. So child's pose is always an option wherever you are in your practice. Lovely. As we inhale, slowly making your way back up just to this halfway point where the hands are underneath the shoulders, and either staying here for our Sahaja Cat Cow or coming into downward facing dog, tucking your toes, hips up nice and high. And again, a little movement, so lifting the heels maybe off the floor, giving those toes a nice stretch. There's always plenty to discover. Our bodies change all the time. Our practice is never the same. Every day we're different. Sometimes we need some gentleness, sometimes we need strength. We won't know till we're on our mats discovering. So from here, as we inhale, come back to the center, and let's step the left foot forward between the hands. Right knee comes down, hands onto our left knee now. And again, that sense of buoyancy. So don't feel like we're getting too stuck. There's movement for the shoulders, for the arms. Nice. As we inhale, we come up a little from that edge. Exhale, sit nice and deep. We want this to be a long and a low lunge, juicy into the front of that right hip. Inhaling, a little lift. Exhaling, sitting nice and deep, lengthening through the spine, up into the heart, into the crown of the head. Inhaling, we come up again. Exhaling, sitting nice and deep. And let's take our hands to the earth. Tuck our toes at the back. Come round to the right. Sideways on the mat, bending your right knee. Hands underneath your shoulders. Now, hopefully the hands feel a little lighter. So you might not even need your hands on the floor. Maybe you can get a little creative. And then bending your left knee, straightening your right leg. Keeping the heels down, keeping that outside edge of the right toe down. Try not to let it kind of slide in like this. We want to keep the whole foot on the floor. Coming round over your left foot. Stepping the left foot back, plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. Tidal pull. Again, there's that lovely action there. Nice long through the spine. Inhaling, rounding into your back. Hips come forward. This time we're going to let the hips keep coming down towards the earth. Strong through the arms, lifting up through the chest. And then again, either coming into downward facing dog or back onto all fours. Breathing into the spine. Noticing how that feels for the shoulders. And then slowly we're going to walk our feet forward. So if you're on all fours, slowly make your way forward. Feet behind your hands, and then hanging down over your legs. Let's take hold of the forearms and a little rock and a little sway from side to side. Feeling the soles of the feet connected to the earth. That's where our earthiness in our practice is kind of through the legs. But in that earthiness comes that sense of fluidity. We can sway, we can move. Find freedom and space for every single vertebra. Space for your neck. And then we release our hands to the earth. And as we inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebra at a time. So taking your time, no rush. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. Knees are soft. Coming up to Tadasana, mountain pose. So stepping your feet together, big toes touching. Closing your eyes. Feeling again that strength. When we close our eyes, we really have to drop into our own inner power, our inner strength, the stability of a mountain, the beauty that is in that mountain shape. Ready to dive in to our Sun Salutation practice, Surya Namaskar. Our first round dedicated to the earth element. As we inhale, we lift the arms, reaching up towards the sky. Exhaling, folding over, hands to the earth, chin to the chest. Inhaling, stepping the right foot back. Knee comes down. Left hand to your knee, right arm reaches up towards the sky, lengthening, 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 taking your time. Taking your hands to the earth, tucking your toes at the back, left foot back, plank pose. So nice and strong in plank. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels, tidal pull. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Lowering down to the earth, coming into Cobra pose, so Bhujangasana. No hands, squeezing all the muscles in the back of the body. That's all the action there. And then release, taking your hands to the earth, tucking your toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Or onto all fours. Inhaling, stepping the right foot forward between the hands. We're going to come straight around to the left. Bending your left knee, straightening your right leg. Bending your right knee, straightening the left leg. And then we're going to come to the center, bring our heels in, coming into a high malasana. So hands are onto the knees. We want to find buoyancy though. We don't want to feel like we're stuck. So a little bit of movement here, side to side. Lovely. And then take the arms out to the side. Right arm underneath the left, spinning our arms, lifting as we inhale, we come up. Exhaling, sitting nice and deep. Inhaling, we come up. Exhaling, sitting nice and deep. Inhaling one more time, we come up. And then exhaling. Up. Releasing your arms, coming round over that right leg. Left knee comes down. Hips come back towards the heels, toes come in towards the nose, Ardha Hanuman. So just being gentle here. You might want to move a little forward, backwards. You might slide your right foot forward. Eventually this will turn into the splits, but just taking your time, being kind and loving towards your hamstrings. And then as we inhale, we're going to bend that front knee and step the left foot forward, folding over your legs, chin in towards your chest. Inhaling, rising, coming all the way up. Exhaling, folding over, taking your hands to the earth, chin to the chest. Inhaling, left foot back. Knee comes down, right hand to your knee, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Nice. Taking your hands to the earth. Tucking your toes, right foot back, plank pose. So again, nice and strong. We get stronger every time we come through. A little pull in towards the belly, pressing out through the heels. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels, tidal pull. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. And then bending your elbows, coming down to the earth. Coming into Shavasana now, lifting the arms, lifting the legs, squeezing all the muscles in the back of the body. Squeeze, 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 and release. Hands come underneath the shoulders, tucking your toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left foot forward between the hands. We come round to the right, bending the right knee, straightening the left leg. Bending your left knee, straightening your right leg. Getting nice and close to the earth. And then we come to the center, bring our heels in again, toes out to the side. Again into our high Muludhara. A little buoyancy, a little movement. Just explore. Sitting nice and tall, arms out to the side. Left arm underneath the right this time. That's it. Inhaling, a little lift. Exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, and exhale. Releasing your arms, coming round over your left foot, right knee comes down, hips come back towards the heels, Ardha Hanuman, half splits. So don't worry about whether you can straighten the leg. Just be very loving. Don't try to do too much. And also try not to take that hip further past the right knee. We want to be right above the right knee. That's it. You might even need blocks underneath you. You might need to have your hands in a little closer. We get to be upfront and honest and truthful with our hamstrings, but very, very loving. Nice. As we inhale, we're going to bend that front knee. Step the right foot forward, folding over your legs, chin in towards your chest. Inhaling, rising, coming all the way up. Exhaling, hands come down through the center of the body. Lovely. Inhaling, lifting, reaching your arms. Exhaling, folding over. We come into the water element. Inhaling, right foot back, knee comes down. Now we're going to flow a little. We're going to lift both arms up, straighten that left leg, lift the toes. Hands come down over your legs, over your left leg. Inhaling, sweeping. Exhaling, pushing into that foot, lifting the toes. Hands come down. So a nice flowing move. Inhaling one more time. Reaching, reaching, reaching up. Anjaneyasana, pressing down through the foot, lifting the toes, strong through the legs. Hands come down, chin comes in towards the chest. Bending that front knee, hands come onto the earth, tucking your toes, left foot back, plank pose. So we'll come into our first side plank. We're going to come onto the right side. Now you can have your feet wide apart. You could have your left foot in front, left foot on top of your right foot, all sorts of options. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. And then a movement of that left arm up by our ear, nice big circle, and then comes up again. Nice big circle. 2 more like that. Lifting the left arm up, reaching up, and then 1 more circle all the way around. Bringing your left hand down, and we'll straighten up into plank and come on to the other side. So coming on to the left side now. Stepping that right foot where you need to have it. Right arm reaches up towards the sky, and then up and over. Inhaling, moving with the breath. Exhaling, arm comes down. Inhaling, opening. Exhaling. 1 more. Inhale, lifting, up and around. Nice. And then we come back to the center. Back into plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. Tidal pull. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Tucking your toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog, hips up nice and high. Some of you might like to lift the right leg up into the air, let the left heel come down. As we inhale, we're going to sweep the right foot forward between the hands. Left heel comes down, inhaling, warrior 2. Left hand comes down the back, right arm reaches up and over, taking your elbow to your thigh, left arm up and over by your ear, extended side angle pose. Coming back into warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, taking your hands to the earth. Left knee comes down, hips come back towards the heels, tidal pull. Not tidal pull, Ardha Hanuman. And then as we inhale, we bend that front knee and we step the left foot forward, folding over your legs. Inhaling, rising, coming all the way up. Exhaling, folding over, hands to the earth, chin to the chest. Inhaling, stepping the left foot back. Knee comes down and we come into that flowing Anjaneyasana. So arms come up, pressing into the foot, lifting the toes. You have to focus. Hands come down, chin comes in. Inhaling, sweeping the arms, reaching up and back. Pushing into the foot, lifting the toes. So you might also start to feel that we're mixing the water element in with our solar plexus, the fire element. Pressing, lifting, focusing, drishti, 1 pointed focus. Nice, bending that front knee. Ready now, hands on the floor, nice and firm. Tucking your toes, right foot back. Plank pose. Ready for Vashisthasana now on the other side. So left side first. So your choice, you might be able to take your feet on top of one another, the right and top of the left. Maybe you lift the right leg up nice and high. Finding that fire element within you, that solar plexus all fired up. And then come back to the center. If you have any injuries, you might need to be on your elbow. Lifting your left leg. So you're on your right side. Lifting the left arm. Maybe lifting the left leg. Lovely. Coming back to the center. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. Nice tidal pull. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Tucking your toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog, hips up nice and high. Right heel comes down, maybe lifting the left leg up. Finding that spaciousness, that strength. And as you inhale, we're going to sweep the left foot forward between the hands. Right heel comes down. Inhaling, Virabhadrasana 2. So we land here. We arrive with our inner power. Right hand comes down the back. Left arm reaches up and over. Taking your elbow to your thigh. Right arm up and over by your ear. Lengthening. Inhaling, coming back. Warrior 2. Taking your hands to the earth. Right knee comes down. Ardha Hanuman. Hips come back towards the heel. Left toes lift. And then inhaling. We bend that front knee. Stepping the right foot forward. Folding over your legs. Chin in towards your chest. Inhaling, rising. Coming all the way up. Exhaling, hands come down. We're ready now to move into the fire element. Inhaling, lifting your arms, reaching up and back. Exhaling, folding over. Inhaling, right foot back. Now we're going to stay with a nice straight, strong right leg. Press down through the feet, come up into a high lunge. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up towards the sky into a lovely open twist. Taking your left hand down, stepping the left foot back, plank pose. For the fire element, we're going to bring the right knee in towards the right elbow. Keep that foot kind of hovering in space. Press that foot back, and then left knee to the left elbow. Coming back, knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Exhaling, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, right foot forward between the hands. Left heel comes down. Inhaling, rising. Warrior 2. Left hand comes down the back, right arm reaches up and over. Taking your elbow to your thigh, or maybe your hand comes to the floor or a block. Left arm up and over by your ear. Inhaling, we come back up. Warrior 2. We're going to straighten the right leg to come into triangle pose. So reaching forward with those right fingers. Right hand comes down. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. So keeping the body in a nice plane. Nothing pitching forward. We don't want to be leaning forward at a funny angle. We want to keep that left shoulder back, open through the heart, lifting that left arm up. Try not to use any weight into your right hand. It's all happening around the middle of the body. Inhaling, slowly making your way up, bending the front knee, sit nice and deep. Taking your hands to the earth, left knee comes down, hips come back towards the heels, Ardha Hanuman. Nice, and as we inhale, we bend that front knee. We're going to step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Move the right foot out to the side and sit into a low Malasana now. So elbows to the inside of the knees, hands in front of the heart, lifting the heart. Nice long spine. Lovely. And then from there we're going to reach the arms out in front. And we're going to come to sit down, coming into some leg raises. So we're going to reach the legs out along the mat. We need to come back. And as taking your hands now, your arms down by your side, palms facing down. If you have any lower back issues, just tuck your hands underneath your lower back. As we inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up. Nice and straight. Press out through both heels. Exhaling down. Inhaling, left leg lifts. Exhaling, slowly coming down. Inhaling, right leg lifts. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, left leg reaches up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, right leg reaches up. Take hold behind your thigh. Feel the breath and feel that action into the belly here. We want to really be pulling the belly towards the spine. As we inhale, we're going to lift our head and our shoulders off the mat. Maybe the hands come up a little higher. And again, you're kind of pressing the belly towards the spine. You're pressing out through the left heel. And then slowly taking your head back down to the earth. Keeping your leg where it is, releasing your hands from around that leg. And then slowly lower the right leg down. Inhaling, left leg comes up. Taking hold behind your thigh there. Not around the knee. Try not to hold behind the knee. Pressing out through the right leg. Pulling the belly in towards the spine. And now we lift up a little higher. Take our hands a little higher. Keep that right leg active. Belly in towards the spine. Lifting, breathing. And then taking your head back down to the earth. Switches on a little intensity. And then taking your hands back down to the earth. Lower the left leg down. Bringing your knees in towards your chest, giving your knees a nice big hug. And from here is kind of really momentum required with the breath. So as we're going to come to stand up. As we inhale, we rock. Plant our feet and come up to stand. Feet together. Inhaling, rising, reaching up and back. Exhaling, folding over. Hands to the earth, chin to the chest. Inhaling, left foot back. High lunge now. We have a strong left leg. We're going to come up nice and high with the arms. Sit nice and deep into the hips. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Taking your left hand to the earth, right arm reaches up towards the sky into a lovely twist. Feeling how it feels through the spine, around the shoulders and to the torso. Right hand comes down, stepping the right foot back. Plank pose. So again, we're going to take the right knee to the right elbow. Hover a little here. Feeling your breath, feeling your strength. Stepping that right foot back, left knee comes into the left elbow. And then we come back, little extra here, right knee to the left elbow. So there's a bit of a twist happening. And then we come back, left knee to the right elbow. And coming back. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. Tidal pull. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Tucking your toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog, hips up nice and high. Feeling that little pull in towards the belly. As we inhale, stepping the left foot forward between the hands. Right heel comes down. Inhaling, rising. Warrior 2. Right hand comes down the back. Left arm reaches up towards, up and over by your ear. Reverse warrior. Taking either your elbow to your thigh or maybe the hand to the floor. Right arm reaches up and over, extended side angle pose. Strong, little, again, action there in the belly. We're firing up our solar plexus. Inhaling, we come back up, warrior 2. And then straightening the left leg, coming into Trikonasana. Slowly, taking your time. Right arm reaches up, maybe looking up towards the thumb. Strong through the feet. Pulling that energy in towards the center of the body. Inhaling, coming back up nice and slowly, bending the front knee. That's it. And then taking your hands to the earth. Right knee comes down, coming into our Ardha Hanuman, folding over the left leg. Pulling again, there's a little pull in towards the belly. We kind of conserve all of our energy. We pull it into the center. And then as we inhale, we bend that front knee. And we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Left foot comes out. So your Malasana, it might be that you need support underneath your heels. It might be that you have your feet pointing forwards and you have your feet a little closer. For my hips, I need a bit of space. So I have my feet out at an angle. Elbows to the inside of the knees, hands in front of the heart, sitting nice and tall. You can create a little bit of movement if that feels good. Move your head if you need to. And then from here we're going to take our arms out in front. Let the hips come down, coming onto our back again. And we're going to come into some double leg lifts. So the legs go straight out along the mat. And again, if you have any lower back issues, tuck your hands underneath your lower back. Otherwise your arms can be beside you, palms facing down. So as we inhale, we're going to lift both legs up, flexing both the feet. Exhaling, lowering down on 1, on 2, on 3. Now they don't quite touch down. Inhaling, lifting on 1, on 2, on 3. Exhaling down on 1, on 2, on 3. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, lifting, nice and strong. Exhaling, lowering. 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, lifting, holding the legs here. Might be a bit shaky, that's fine. Just holding the legs. Noticing how your breath is. And we're going to come down nice and slowly. So take a nice deep breath in. And coming down to a count of 10 on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8, on 9, on 10. Lifting your arms up over your head, giving yourself a nice stretch out through the toes. And again, we're going to use our own momentum here. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, hands behind the knees, using your breath. As we inhale, we rock, and then plant the feet and come up to stand. Coming to the top of your mat. Ready now for the air element. As we inhale, lifting the arms, reaching up and back. Exhaling, folding over, hands to the earth, chin to the chest. Inhaling, right foot back. Knee comes down, rising up, Anjaneyasana. We're going to take our arms behind us, hands onto the lower back. So we might need to come up a little bit, fingers pointing up the spine if you can, and then encouraging the hips towards the earth, and then that opening through the front of the body, elbows in towards one another, looking up maybe towards the sky, opening through the front of the collarbones, onto the chest. And then taking your hands to the earth, tucking your toes, left foot back, plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels, tidal pull. Now rounding into your back, we're going to let the hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. But then we're going to come up onto all fours. So half bow pose, We're going to have our hands nice and wide, knees nice and wide. We're going to lift the right leg up and back behind us. Left hand comes to your heart. So that might be where you stay, that might be enough. If you want to go another stage, you curl in, kind of coiling into a nice tight ball. Take hold of your right foot with your left hand and then pressing your foot into the hand, rising up, radiating. Left shoulder coming back, looking at a spot underneath your nose. Strong through the right arm, balanced, present. And release, nice and slowly releasing. Now we come onto the other side, so left leg lifts up and back, right hand comes to your heart, a little pull into the belly again. Coiling in, taking hold of that foot with your right hand, and then pressing the foot into the hand. The action is there in the leg really, pushing into the hand, right shoulder coming back. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Lovely. And then release, nice and slowly. Now either coming into child's pose from there or downward facing dog. Your choice. If you're in downward facing dog, let the left heel come down, right leg lifts up and back. And that nice sense of opening. Some of you might like to let the left foot pivot round so that the right foot comes down to the floor, bending both knees, lifting the hips, reaching that right arm by your ear, feeling that openness. And then as you inhale, slowly making your way back, up and over. And we'll sweep that right foot forward between the hands. Left heel comes down, inhaling warrior two. Left hand comes down the back, right arm reaches up and over. Taking your elbow to your thigh or maybe the hand to the floor. Some of you might even take that bind where you take the right arm underneath and the left arm behind you, opening through the shoulders. Maybe straightening that right leg. Always room to explore. Releasing nice and slowly, making your way back up and out, back into warrior two. Taking your hands to the earth. Left knee comes down, hips come back towards the heels. Tidal pull. Lovely, and then coming forward, we're going to come up onto that right leg. So we're going to fly, let the left leg come up, back behind you, coming into warrior three pose. Arms by your hips, strong through the legs, strong through the mind. Let's see if we can come all the way up without letting that left foot touch down. Balancing challenge. Take your left foot, left ankle on top of your right knee, hands in front of your heart. Slowly maybe coming down, taking your time, and maybe taking your elbows onto that left leg, the left foot. Maybe the hands come all the way down onto the floor. Some of you might come up onto your arms that way, but that might be enough there for you. Slowly making your way back up, hands come in front of your heart, and come all the way up and release that left foot down. Ready now for the other side. Inhaling, reaching, coming all the way up and back. Exhaling, folding over your legs. Chin in towards your chest. Inhaling, left foot back. Knee comes down. Rising up, Anjaneyasana. We're going to come up a little bit, take our hands behind us, hands onto the lower back, encourage the hips down and that opening through the chest, looking up towards the sky, the strength in your left leg, keeping us balanced, but the openness around the heart. Lovely. Releasing your hands to the earth, tucking your toes, right foot back, plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. Rounding into your back, hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Coming down onto your belly or staying in that half bow variation. Coming into full bow, bending both knees, taking hold of your feet. And when you're ready, pressing the feet into the hands, rising up in bow pose. Lovely. And then slowly releasing. Hands come down underneath your shoulders. Little shimmy of your hips from side to side. And then tucking your toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Hips up nice and high. So this time the right heel comes down, left leg lifts up and back. Again, explore how that feels for your hips, your spine. Some of you might like to let the right foot slide around so that your left foot comes behind you. Press down through the feet, lift, reach that left arm away, open through the body, strong through the arms. And then slowly come back up and over as we step that left foot forward between the hands. Right heel comes down. Inhaling, rising, warrior two. Right hand comes down the back leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Coming into our side angle pose. So maybe that elbows on the thigh, hand on the floor. Or maybe taking your left arm underneath, right arm around the back, interlinking your fingers, but then looking up towards the sky. Again, pulling in towards the belly. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Releasing your hands, coming back up into warrior two. Taking your hands to the earth, right knee comes down, hips come back, Ardha Hanuman. Just notice if there's been any changes, how does it feel? And then slowly coming forward, ready to fly now. We're going to come up onto that left leg. Right leg lifts up and back. Arms come beside our hips, nice and strong in warrior three. Just pull again in towards the belly. And then as we inhale, we're going to start to come back up. Not letting those right toes touch down though. We're going to take the right foot to the top of the left knee. Hands in front of the heart. And then slowly start to make our way down a little bit here. Being focused. You might want to take your elbows onto your right leg and add that juiciness. We have to pull in towards the belly. Maybe your hands come to the floor. And then slowly making your way back up, taking your time. Let the right foot land beside the left foot. Nice. Let the thumbs rest on the breastbone. Noticing your energy, your breath. Lovely. And then from here, coming down onto your back. For final relaxation, you can just dive straight in to Shavasana. So some of you Might like to just go into the shoulder stand practice here, where you would just have a few moments in Shavasana and then come into shoulder stand, Halasana, and a back bend again. So like a bridge pose or fish pose, Matsyendrasana, and then a forward fold and then finish. Otherwise, coming into Shavasana, taking your arms out to the side, palms facing up. And we soften, let go, let the earth hold you. Feel the support. Just noticing how your breath feels moving through your body, what sort of temperature your body is at. All those connection points, the earthiness, the fluidity, the fire, the air, and now the spaciousness. As you let your body relax completely, softening, dropping down. Also beginning now to take a nice deep breath into your body. As you slowly start to move your fingers and your toes. And then when you're ready, drawing your legs together, lifting your arms up over your head, giving yourself a nice stretch. Pressing out through the palms, out through the heels. Drawing your knees in towards your chest, giving your knees a nice big hug. A little rock from side to side. And slowly coming over onto your right side, curled into a ball. And then pressing into the earth with your left hand to slowly come up to sit in a nice comfortable cross-leg position. Resting your hands on your knees. And connect really to that space element. So as you continue to sit in Sukhasana, pose of ease, I'd like to share a poem with you called Blossoming by Janet Arnold Rich. In the beginning, with each unraveling of the mat, we are anxious to add to our garden, to gather the beautiful buds and coax each asana to open quickly. Feet in the dirt we stand, sometimes for the first time, connecting earth to muscle and muscle to sky, the energy of an immense lineage pulsing with promise. But as the poses settle, as we settle, we find that yoga's true gift is not about more, but less. The outline of the poses remain the same, yet when the space between is fed, when ease replaces expectation, when patience replaces petals, we find that the asanas are no longer about holding on, but letting go. And in that release, without judgment, breath floods in, releasing the mind and freeing the heart. Through yoga, we find that core of serene nothingness and learn that in letting go, we gain everything. Lovely, we close our practice now with the sharing of 3 Oms, taking a nice deep breath in. Drawing your hands now in front of your heart as we bow in gratitude, in thanks to our bodies and our breath and our minds and our hearts for serving us so well, doing such an amazing job. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace to each and every one of you and beyond, to your loved ones and beyond into the universe. Namaste.